And you're listening to Candidate Conversations on the WIDU Radio Network. I'm your host, Jay Reinstein. And today I have with me David Buzzard, running for U.S. Congress, District 7 Republican. Welcome to Candidate Conversations, David.
How you doing, Jay? Thank you so much.
Yeah, so if you could tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself and maybe why you're running.
Yes, sir. So I'm 35. I was born and raised in Fayetteville. Joined the Army right out of high school. I had my first Purple Heart before I could drink a beer. I came home. I dealt with a lot of issues that a lot of our veterans deal with. I dealt with homelessness. I worked a part-time job. I dealt with, the depression, all the types of reintegration issues. I saw a lot of the things that a lot of our Americans see on the ground. It started to get to me. As I moved down to Wilmington around 2014, I was able to pick myself up by the bootstraps and, work through these challenges. I met the love of my life down here in Wilmington, North Carolina. We now have two lovely young daughters and hoping for many more children. The thing is, it's getting harder and harder for young Americans to actually have children, to actually have an American dream. There's too many things that are influencing our nation, and I think the opportunities and the health and the ability for our young people to actually achieve the American dream should be our core priority. And so that's something that's driving me to want to run, to focus on, again, the opportunities, things that have been overlooked for a lot of our young people and in future generations. And so that's what drives me.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, thank you for your service and a Purple Heart. That is impressive. So, again, thank you. Again, talking to David Buzzard, running for Congress, District 7. So what would be the top issue in the district that people tell you about when you're meeting voters? Is there any specific issue that you're hearing about?
Absolutely. Overdevelopment. Look, there's such a thing as good development, but then there's such a thing as overdevelopment. A lot of Republicans will sneer at me because they think that all development somehow is good, but the types of housing that we're building, the infrastructure bottlenecking, the lack of sewage lines being put in, the stress on the schools, the hospitals, there's just so much that's taking place, and everyone is just sell, and putting up these vertical, this high density living. There's not enough jobs for these folks that are flooding into the area. And so this level of development, while seemingly good, I think will lead to longer issues down the road. And so I would like to focus on bringing good opportunities to our young Americans down here in this area. So focusing on job growth and clean access to clean water and food.
Great. Thank you so much. So we're going to, hypothetically, if you're elected, what would be one concrete thing you would want to deliver for your district in your first term? And again, you are running for District 7.
Yes, sir. No, absolutely. The first thing that I want to go after is healthy water. I mean, we have a lot of pork industry in the area that has a lot of mega farms, which has a lot of runoff into our river systems. We have major corporations that are still dumping PFAS into our river systems. This is having generational issues. This is causing cellular damage at the generational level. And so I don't believe that small slaps on the wrist is viable enough for the type of damage that's being done. And so I would go after corporations and organizations that are continuously dumping waste and specifically our pork industry, which is controlled by China. I would advocate for the complete handover into American hands, essentially, of our pork industry and our pork distribution down here. And so those are two things that I would really like to focus on.
Yeah, thank you so much. And, as you know, Congress has a reputation for gridlock. I mean, both the Senate and Congress, it's been very challenging to get anything done. How would you be an effective representative rather than just another partisan voice?
Well, that's the thing about me, Jay. I'm not a partisan. There's a lot of things that the Republicans do that I disagree with, and I'm never the one to just beat on my chest and point to the color of my party. I like to find shared values and work from there. For instance, there's a lot of liberal friends that I have that care a lot about the environment. Well, guess what? I'm not talking to them about social issues. I'm talking to them about things that they care about, which is preserving the environment which they love and which I love. And so this is the type of thing that I would do. I'm not here to act high and mighty. I'm not here to act like I have all of the answers. But I would work with everyone at every level, even if I disagree with them on certain things, as long as we're able to find shared values and actually work from those.
Very encouraging to hear that you'll work across the aisle, David. Again, we're talking to David Buzzard, running for Congress, District 7, and he's a Republican. So what's a federal issue, and I think you've spoken to a little bit, that hits home locally here in North Carolina, and how would you address it? Is there something specifically that you'd like to address if elected?
Absolutely, and this is something that no one's really talking about, Jay, is, this AI push, these data centers. Everyone is making concessions and trying to bring in these data centers. The thing that I'm concerned about is when we bring in these data centers, is there a guarantee that they will continue to have human workers at these centers? Or are we just kind of creating the impetus for a worker change out to robotics as soon as it's fiscally viable? To me, I don't think we should be funding things with our tax dollars, which eventually lead to our replacement in the workforce. That's not how we have positive, conservative, and Republican values. Having access to good work, which makes you feel fulfillment, is how we actually create and foster the American dream and those conservative values. And so I would push for any AI legislation to actually focus on preserving the jobs. For instance, truck drivers. Let me just real quickly, Jay. Truck drivers. That's a major industry. It's a major sector. I think that there should be legislation put forward to protect those jobs from a quote unquote a better market solution, which is to have automated truck drivers. I disagree. And so these are the types of things that I would be focused on in order to, again, ensure that our young people have access to live out the American dream.
Interesting. You talk about AI. I know the Cumberland County Commissioners are talking about those storage areas too. So very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Accountability is always an issue. And how would you stay accountable to the people of your district once you're in Washington?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm an open book. I'm a guy who calls homeless people sir and ma'am. I'm the type of person that believes iron sharpens iron, and so I'm open to constructive criticism from both allies and adversaries. And so my office will be open to anyone and everyone who wants to reach out to us to either inquire about a problem or to ask about policy. I'm an open book. I love talking to people, and I think that we truly agree on more than we think, as long as we have those conversations. So that's how I like to live my life, is having those conversations.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Again, David Buzzard, running for Congress, District 7, Republican. Why do you think, David, you are the better choice for the seat compared to the other candidates in this race?
Absolutely. Well, look, I swear off my right, me and my family's right to buy, sell, and trade stock as a representative, so you won't see me ever purchase a single stock. I will sign a pledge to get on to term limits. I don't think that House of Representatives should serve more than 8 years. And I forfeit my right to take any PAC money. I will take PAC money from veterans groups because I do a lot in the veteran space, and I think that there's a lot to be done there. But I don't want to take any foreign PAC money. I don't want to take any PAC money from, these mega lobbyist groups. I think that politics needs to come from the heart and not from the pocketbook. And so.
Well, thank you. Now, how do people get a hold of you? What's your social media? You have a website. People may want to get a hold of you, learn more about you. What would they do?
Please, yes, sir. So it's nc4buzzard.org. That's my website. Everything is connected from there, both all my social medias. There's a link to send me a message, to give me a call. And so essentially shoot me a call or a message from the website, and I will definitely be reaching back out to you. I love to hear from everyone. Like I said, I'm an open book, and I like having those conversations, so don't fear in reaching out.
It was an absolute pleasure talking with you, David. Again, thank you for your service. We've been talking to David Buzzard, running for U.S. Congress District 7 as a Republican. Thank you for joining us today on Candidate Conversations.
Thank you, Jay. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and hope you hear from you soon.
Great. Until next time, have yourselves a great day.